Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. Now today I'm going to be starting work on what is going to be one of the signature rides inside Ocean Bay Studios. It is of course our tram tour. Now I've been looking forward to doing this ever since the Studios pack was announced by Frontier as the DLC for Let's Play Planet Coaster, and to be honest I'm really looking forward to putting all this together, and I'm going to talk to you over the next couple of minutes about exactly what I'm going to be doing. Now it's going to be 4 different scenes on this ride. None of them are going to be directly based on a movie, but it is going to be similar to what you can find at Disneyland Paris and also what used to be at Hollywood Studios. It's more going to be a matter of taking you around, showing you how effects and things are worked on films, different set pieces and all that kind of stuff, and it's not really going to be about individual films themselves, which is more what About the Tram Tour in Hollywood is about. If you've ever been on that at Universal Studios, it's a fantastic ride. It takes you through loads of different scenes, all the streets where Back to the Future was filmed. There's a Jaws section, you got like the Fast and Furious bit on there. There's loads of stuff and it's well worth checking out. In fact, we have got a video here on the channel as part of our vlog from when we visited back in September 2015, so make sure you check that out. So yes, 4 scenes, and this is the first one that I'm putting in now, and this is basically going to be like a New York style set. We're going to have all these buildings around. You can already see already from the first couple of minutes here what the main part of this scene is going to be. It's going to be this big bus coming out and launching towards the actual track itself. Now obviously I want to hide the track in this scene. I'm not going to do that in all of them, but to make this scene more immersive I'm actually going to cover up all the track, and it's actually going to look like a car park, and you're going to have lots of like dust wagons and things about. There you can see in real time there how that looks. So the bus comes launching out of what will be like a depot towards what will be the ride vehicle when it passes that. So it'll be quite a nice effect. You can see here that I'm putting in some scenery at the side to cover up when it resets. Now because of some of these effects and things, they've got quite a short reset time on them, so I wanted to make sure that as soon as that effect happens, the tram or bus, however you want to refer to it, will pass around that corner, and then it'll be covered up by the shipping containers, boxes, barrels, all kinds of random bits of theming really, and you'll see that in the next few minutes as I continue on this scene. Now, like I say, there's going to be 4 individual scenes on here, but that doesn't mean that's what there is all going to be to see. We're going to have like a costume department where you're going to go like through a building and things. I'm going to put that in at a later date, all sorts of different things, but also I'm going to leave a few gaps around it because I feel like with this I might want to add some bits to it at a later date. I might want to work on some other rides and then put some other bits in. Now obviously placement is a huge part of this ride, and it's making sure that things get nice and close to the actual trams, but not too close that they look unrealistic and hit it and hit different objects and things. Obviously that doesn't matter if it happens in the game, but I want to go down the realism route as I do with everything that I build. So it's making sure that we leave enough clearance on things. It's like them police cars that I've put in just there. You see in a moment that I actually move those because they're a little bit too close to the bus when it comes out. I just want it to be realistic, and you can see here as well I'm putting in some barriers and things around it. You can see the bus there, so it kind of makes this pathway in the middle where the bus is going to come out. Now all that is done with triggerable effects, and that's something what Planet Coaster have done really well in this game. The fact you can set up these triggers, which basically means we can select a part of the track where I want this scene to start from basically, and you can control the audio, the lighting, animatronics, all sorts of different things, and yeah, so you'll see that in a bit more detail later on in this episode. So as you can see here, just leaving that area nice and clear so that bus can come out. And what we want here, we're going to have the explosion coming out of the barrels on the left, as you saw about a minute ago, and then the bus that's going to startle the bus really, so it flips over, and we're going to have fire effects, all sorts of other bits going on here. And this is actually going to be acting as like a live set, so I'm going to be putting camera equipment around there, like all booms, little bits of cabling, tripods, all that kind of stuff, because I want this, we're going to sort of announce it on the audio that you're like going on to like a live set with this one. That isn't going to be the case with the next scene, but it certainly is with this one. So like I say, no direct movie with this one. A lot of the stuff is going to be quite unique in this park. Yes, there's going to be quite a few references to filmed and things, but a lot of the attractions as well are going to be quite unique to the park and be more about the special effects and the behind the scenes of making films than it is directly the different films. But like I said, I've got some really good attractions planned for some of my favourites. There's definitely going to be a Jaws ride using like the boats and some different scenery items that you can get with the sharks and things, so look forward to that in the next few episodes. There is going to be a Back to the Future ride, and because I know 100% I want to do that. It might be a coaster, maybe a dark ride. I want to use the Robo-Arm to do some sort of IP based ride, so there's a lot going on, a lot to look forward to with this series. This is just early days with it really, but four episodes in, I think it's looking quite good. You'll notice that I zoom out quite a lot as well, because for me it's all about getting the sight lines right. I don't want you to see any of this from down in our beautiful Mediterranean entrance. Obviously, yes, the entrance to this ride is in the Mediterranean section of the park, but as we move into it, you'll notice that I put trees in and things, but aren't palm trees. They're not Mediterranean. It's not a Mediterranean setting for the park. It's just a Mediterranean entrance, hence the name Ocean Bay Studios, because it's got this little bay area, a Mediterranean bay, and I'm loving all the different suggestions that are coming in for names to that area. Keep them coming in, along with names for this tram tour, and anything what you see me build, whether it's food kiosks, shops, anything, like comment below with names, because I really want to make this a nice immersive park, and of course inspired by the fans of Theme Park Worldwide, all of you guys. Lots of details going on the buildings here. They're not going to be quite as detailed as the buildings around the entrance, mainly because I don't feel the need to, because this is a set. What you've got to imagine is you're only going to actually see one side of these buildings. It's not like there's footpaths and things around it. So yeah, giving it a bit of an abandoned style feel. I want it to sort of feel like this scene's taking place in quite a rough area, really, and all the different things that are going to go on around it to make it feel like it's a rough area. That's why you've got all these like dump wagons and stuff around, just random things left about, which means basically yeah, it's caused like an arson attack or something, you know, so all the fires exploding, causing the bus to tip towards the actual vehicle. So I will come up with a direct sort of storyline with it all. But yeah, we're starting to work now on the second scene, which is going on just here. Now, everybody who's been on the tram tour at Disney will know about the famous Catastrophe Canyon, whether you've done it at Walt Disney Studios in Paris, where it does still operate, and that's the only one now, or maybe you did it on the Backlot Tour, what used to be in Hollywood Studios. I used to really enjoy that one as well. I only managed to do it a few times when I went out there back in 2014, but it was good to see it, and that whole Streets of America area, I loved it. I found it really impressive, and as much as Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land are going to be great investments, it's a shame that with all that space that Walt Disney World have got, they couldn't have kept that and also built these new additions. So yeah, this is kind of going to be inspired by Catastrophe Canyon. However, it's not actually going to be like a big wagon that comes falling towards you. What I'm thinking here is like a helicopter. I did think originally about a plane, but then I thought I've already used a plane on the SF Expedition coaster. I love that name. It's a really good one, that. And yeah, I thought I don't want it to be too similar. I'm probably going to use planes later on because I'd like to do like an Indiana Jones style dark ride. So I thought let's not overuse the planes. With this one, I'm going to use a helicopter, and you'll see me add that in the next couple of minutes. But firstly, it's about getting all that hashtag rock work in to create this Grand Canyon style effect. Obviously, I don't just want it to be the front with this one. Obviously, when you go on the Disney version, well, the only one that's left in Paris now, you go on it and the rocks are just at the front, and it sort of it tells you how it's done. With this one, I don't want to go down that route. I want to immerse you 360 in this, so you'll see that I put rocks all the way round, sort of block you in to make it a really nice experience, that you feel like you're really in the part of it, really in the middle of it. And you might be thinking, why have I left them gaps in the rocks? It is, of course, for some waterfalls to go in, and you'll see that in just a second. There's the helicopter. In a second, I changed the colour to like a blue and white for the copter, just because I think it would fit a lot better. And yeah, with this, on Catastrophe Canyon at Disney, the water comes gushing out towards you at a later date. With this, I actually want you to go into the scene. All the water's already coming down like in a waterfall, and then we're going to have like this oil tanker what explodes causing what's caused basically the helicopter to go off course, and we'll have lots of big water effects and all that kind of stuff as well. So you'll see that develop over the next couple of minutes really. Like I say, I'm impressed with what we got so far with this one, so I'll leave you for the next few minutes with a little bit of theme park audio, and you can see my imagination run wild really with this one. I'm impressed with how it turns out this. I really like it so far. So here we go, here's a bit of theme park audio for you. So as you can see then here, it's really starting to come together now in terms of all the scenery. Obviously I've put the waterfalls in there, you've got all the rocks and things around, but now it's starting to think about the actual special effects element to it. And I like I say, I'm going to put in some basic effects in just a moment, and then I'll look at adding more of those as we sort of go on with this park, and I'll be coming back to it, adding new scenes, enhancing different scenes, maybe changing a few bits as well here on the tram tour. So you can see me just there doing the triggers. I mean, in the last series of Let's Play Planet Coaster, I went through the triggers in a bit more detail, but I'll just talk about it now just so slightly. So basically, you can move around. You see there where there's number 3, you move around where you want that trigger to start. This scene I've called the canyon, and then you have to select all the different items that are triggerable, so they appear on there. Basically then, as soon as the train, or tram as it is in this case, passes over that section on the track, it will actually start the effects and you can then set at which point you want them effects to go off. So whether, say for example, at 10 seconds when the train passes over, I can set the fire to go off, maybe at 11 seconds, 12 seconds, so there's something maybe every second, or you could have it all go off at once. If you're doing like an explosion, you might want your fire blast to come first, and then a vehicle to move after the explosion, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to do the programming on this just yet, but the plan of it is the vehicle's going to come in, you're then going to have a bit of water what leaks into that oil tower, which causes oil to come spurting out, which then goes over to the helicopter and causes that to blow up. And then when that happens, we'll have all these big blasts of water come up as well. But there's a lot to do. Like I say, coming towards the end of this episode, because I've done nearly 2 scenes of it. I mean, what you've seen here was spread over about 3 hours worth of work in Planet Coaster. So it really is a time-consuming project. But it's worth it. In terms of the next couple of scenes that I'm going to do, I'm thinking like a pirate set, maybe with like a bridge going over, like a rickety bridge. And then the final scene, I'm going to use like a train car and do something with that quite cool. Maybe like a bridge collapsing or what's already collapsed and smash through like a high street or different buildings and use smoke, pyrotechnics and lots of different effects. But make sure you keep commenting on the videos with different suggestions. After that, in the next episode, I'm then going to start work on my next dark ride, which I'm going to use the Tower of Terror style ride system to create a drop ride, which I'm really looking forward to doing. So get your suggestions coming in for that one as well. In just a moment, you'll see a little clip of this in real time, or maybe it's a little bit slowed down, so you can just actually see what these effects do when it's all triggered. Obviously, you've got the water that's pouring in just there. And if you have a little look at this now, what's coming onto the screen, you can just see that there in terms of all them different effects, what happens. So you'll see the explosion, there you go. So you've got the oil coming out, all the fire and things. Obviously it's all going off in one go there, and that's something I need to change with the trigger at some point. But there you go, thank you very much for watching episode 4. Episode 5 will be on at some point next week, so stay tuned for that. Lots to come on the channel in terms of updates from Sweden. I'm visiting Liseberg, Gröna Lund and Kolmården over the next few days, so make sure you stay tuned for lots of updates across our social media on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and there'll be vlogs here on the channel soon as well. And I'm going to end this video with a little bit of on-ride footage from the tram tour itself, just so you can get a bit of an idea of what these scenes are going to look like from on the tour. So thank you very much for watching, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys.